Hello everyone, Parrot here from the Paradox Brothers YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing a deck profile video for you on an Emissary Chaos deck that I've made. Before I start the video, I do want to say that in 2024 you can look forward to videos like we've made in 2023, the deck profile videos, the gameplay videos, things like that, some of the discussions. But I will be taking some of my time that I dedicate to playing Yu-Gi-Oh! To playing more on the competitive side and some tournaments here and there, seeing what I can do. As a result of that, obviously, I'm going to be playing a lot of decks that revolve around the meta and things of that nature. I may or may not record those videos if I find that they're interesting, or if I do really well, or something like that, or if I learn something from it. Maybe I'll make a video in some way to share it on the channel. But also, as a result, because I'll be playing in competitive settings, I'm also going to make sure that I suppose I should say I will want to embrace more off-meta decks on the channel, so you can expect to see maybe interesting, cool deck profiles and gameplay videos in the future. Now, with that said, let's get into the deck profile. So to begin, this is kind of like going to be like a Chaos Control Emissary type deck. We're going to be playing one BLS and one Chaos Sorcerer for our Chaos monsters. Moving on, for a part of the light engine to help the Chaos, we're going to play 3 Thunder Dragons. To match the 3 light engines there, we're going to play this dark engine and the Emissary of the Afterlife. So this card's really good, and I'll talk about it for a second here, because it's a dark monster that searches the light, and any dark monster that searches the light, or vice versa in Go format, is always going to be pretty good. So just like Sangan, this goes to the graveyard anyway whatsoever. Both players get to search a level 3 or lower normal type monster. In our case, we're going to be playing 1 Dragon Zombie, so in this case, a dark that searches a dark, and then 2 Mokey Mokey. That's where the light comes in. So I like these ratios. It could be something different. I think this is the highest attack monster you can possibly get. You could also play DD Trainer, which is a 2000 defense monster, 1 star, which would also fit very well with like a Metamorphosis type deck as well. We have the 2 Mokey Mokey because we are playing Metamorphosis in this deck, and you'll see that later. So this, I think, works quite well. I like this myself. Obviously, you don't want to draw into these, you want to search these. And sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't, but that's just the way that the game is. So moving on to Magician of Faith. Just a really good card in this game. Never really need to explain that. And from this point on, all the monsters are one-ofs. So Sinister Serpent, Sangan, which searches a lot of the cards in this deck, Tsukuyomi, which can flip down our own Thousand Eyes Restrict, so we can recycle that ability. We can also recycle the flip effect monsters and get rid of warriors. This card is one of the best cards in the game. DD Warrior Lady, we can search it off of Sangan, get rid of problematic monsters, especially like a King Dragon or Dragoon that can't be targeted. This can take care of them. 1 Breaker, we could potentially plus with this. Obviously, this could be a Tribe Infecting Virus or something in this deck. Actually, I had Tribe Infecting Virus initially, and I didn't have Breaker, but I wanted Breaker in here instead, and Tribe I would put on the side. 1 Kycoo for Chaos. Late game Kycoos are really good because a lot of the defense traps are already gone, especially nowadays where people don't play a ton of Sakuretsu armors in game 1 at least, and this can take care of Chaos for you. And 1 Zaborg to tribute our Thousand Eyes Restrict and to get a potential plus by destroying your opponent's monsters. Moving on to the traps. 1 Ring of Destruction, Mirror Force, and Torrential Tribute. 3 of the best traps that Go format has to offer. 2 Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. Just really quick on Regeki Break, Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. I think the Regeki Breaks are almost every bit as good as this card, to be entirely honest with you, but this has a slightly higher ceiling, whereas the trade-off with the Regeki Break is that it is almost always useful, whereas this card can be very bad at times, depending upon what the situation is. Like against Warriors, for example, if your local meta is like rampant with Warriors, I probably wouldn't play this, because just sending a Warrior on top of their deck really doesn't help you too much. Also, Warriors they don't run Chaos Sorcerer nowadays. They run just the BLS. So you don't really care if they get monsters into their grave, because a lot of their games are not even going to get the BLS out. So this card not very good against warriors, in my personal opinion at least, but the Regeki Break would be. But this has a really high ceiling, and I still think Chaos Server is going to be the most played deck when you're going on a ladder and things like that. Those are the only real traps I play, because the last two traps I play two Royal Decrees. I think 5 real traps and 2 royal decrees is a perfectly fine ratio. I don't play the third royal decree, and I don't really feel like it's going to conflict too much. Obviously, you're going to have times you have, you know, 2 of these 5 traps in your hand and a royal decree, and that might suck. But this is eventually going to be outed by your opponent. Unless, of course, they're also playing Royal Decree. In that case, you might be in some trouble, but I think the ratios work really well. These cards that you're playing are so powerful that they're worth it. If I were to take out anything else, maybe I would actually just get rid of the Phoenix Wound Wind Blast altogether and use something like Back to Square One or Tribute to the Doomed or something along those lines. But moving on to the spells, play 3 Metamorphosis and 2 Scapegoat. I like this ratio myself. 3 Metamorphosis, just because we have so many, we have the Mokey Mokeys, the Scapegoats, the Magician of Grace. There's a very good chance we're going to have a 1-star for Thousand Eyes Restrict, and Scapegoat's just a really good card, but having 3 with 20 monsters, which is what we have currently, is kind of a lot. 2 Nobleman of Crossout, take care of Gravekeeper Spy. That's really what we want to get with this card. Heavy Storm and Mystical Space Typhoon. It's debatable if you want to play Heavy Storm in this deck if you have Royal Decree, but I still want to, because there are just sometimes you draw this card and you have game if you have this card at times, and same can be said for Royal Decree as well. But I feel like having both in this deck is what I wanted. Snatch Steal, no premature, because we have 20 monsters and some chaos monsters. I don't really care to bring back anything. Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, and Delinquent Duo. Obviously, some of the best spell cards in the game. That is it for the deck profile. Hopefully you liked it. Let us know down below what you thought, what modifications you might make, and if you have any New Year's resolutions down below or anything like that, feel free to let us know, or any goals, maybe Yu-Gi-Oh related or otherwise even, let us know down below. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.